Hello, it's me, Ben Alameda. Let's talk today about street stuff. I've come across occasionally, or more than occasionally, guys will always say, hey, I like to put on an aluminum flywheel, get rid of my heavy steel flywheel, make more power or get better at the track. Well, I would say get better at what track? Drag racing or road racing? Now, if it's road racing, sure, aluminum flywheel or light flywheel is the way to go. Coming out of the corner, you're already moving. It's easier to engine brake. It's easier to accelerate. But for drag racing, it's a whole different story. Remember, a heavy flywheel's got a lot of centrifugal force or inertia. Okay, and if you got a lot of weight, and let's say you got a little engine, 302 stroker 347 or 327, 350, and now down to a 383. Sometimes you can beat the other guy by having the stored energy in your engine combination. And when you look at it, when you're revving an engine, let's say 4,000, 5,000 RPM, that heavy flywheel is energy. It's spinning, okay? And once you let go of the clutch, bam, it hits it real hard because that inertia gives it momentum to continue on accelerating. But if you have a light flywheel, as soon as the clutch grabs, you don't have that much stored energy. That's spinning, and it'll pull the engine down. And I remember years ago, this guy's got a pretty fast Fox body supercharged 347, and the doggone thing would run 970, 980 on the street, him and his buddy. So it was fortunate for me that I could compare both of them. You know, it's amazing how I was doing different things, and they're best buddies. One day, that white Mustang said, you know what, I'm going to put an aluminum flywheel. I think I'll get a little quicker. I said, maybe not. He goes, but you're running a 351, you know, and it seemed like it don't affect you. Well, you know, you got a 351 with a taller deck. So from the center of the intake to the valve, it's longer because the deck is taller. You're up here. The runners from center on to the valve is longer. And I tell you what, longer by 2-3 inches, that's big. Now the 302, since the V is shorter, the center of the port, the plenum to the valve is a lot shorter. So really, your runner length is not that good. So really, when you look at a 347 to a 408, or even a 351 to a stock stroke to a 347, 302, the longer runner on the 351 will give it a little bit of edge on torque. Even though the lighter internals and a shorter rod tend to bring the piston down quicker and accelerate faster for the moment, sure, it'll do that. Again, I'll talk about that later on. It's a different subject, but let's get back to the flywheel. So White Mustang decides to put a real light aluminum flywheel, and then they went back to the racetrack. It's funny, they always line up together. And right off the get-go, he launches it because it's supercharged. It had a Vortec, I don't know which one that was, V2 I think, or was it just years ago. And he'd leave his usual 4,500 on slicks. As soon as he let go of the clutch, boom, full flat in his face, bah, and his buddy gone, took off. He goes, oh, I just got to readjust. And I said, remember what I told you about not having any torque down the bottom? It's going to pull you down? Here it is, right? He goes, yeah, you know what, funny too, man. He goes, driving down here, I have a hard time trying to leave the stoplight. I got to really like ride the clutch, or else it'll go, it'll fall flat in his face. Again, no inertia. Now he's finding out. So all night long he's testing. Now he's launching at almost 6,000 RPM and just dropping the clutch. Either he hooks up and is gone, or he hooks up and bogs down. So the what do I call that? The window of where he can launch and get a good takeoff for the 60-foot is very narrow. It's either he spins or he bogs down. It's like very tight RPM where he could actually get the thing moving without stalling out or spinning the tires. So he says to me later on, he goes, man, it's a lot harder to drive. And his buddy's laughing, you know, because you spent all your money. That sucker's not cheap. And he ended up not really going any faster. Actually, he was a lot slower. I was in a harder to drive. The doggone car became inconsistent for drag racing. So I told him, next time somebody asks you about this thing, tell them your experience. And I told you, I warned you. But sometimes it's kind of hard to tell on people what they're going to end up experiencing until it hits them hard on the wallet. Then they go, ouch, that hurts. I'm not going to do that again. And they'll tell their friends and their friends whatever. Okay, and but that was truly amazing. The heavy flywheel from his buddy, I think it's a billet flywheel. He was just launching at 42, 4,500, hooked up and gone. Easy to drive. But he's out there messing around where he's going to be at. He goes, I don't know what's going to happen. So anyway, that is a quick street tech, track tech for you guys. Hopefully you save money, you go fast, and not waste your time. Okay, this is Ben Alameda Racing. Please subscribe and like, and we'll keep this going. Thank you very much. Bye.